Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. I have a question that came into customer service today, and this one is from Michael Bartz, B-R-T-Z. Michael says, Serge was going to tell us his alignment tip or check he does when he is at the motel. Thanks. Okay, so that must have been one of these days when I was talking about alignment. And as you know, just about any question that comes in about a swing issue, I almost always have to bring up alignment as a potential swing problem. Correct? Because we know that alignment has to be parallel left, and you have to learn to stand up where your body, being a righty, you'd be parallel left of your aiming line, lefty you'd be parallel right of it. And I did mention that I do things in a hotel. Well, as you know, for example, I have my alignment arrows right here. And these are arrows I created at one time, years and years ago. They're durable plastic. They're grooved here so that to make sure that everything sets in right angles. And I have my connector bar here, which actually becomes, once I got the arrows together, and you can set them up in one lock like this, but you can also, this one can slide up and down. In fact, they both could slide up and down anywhere you want, but we got these two lock-in places, and wherever they are, they're exactly at right angles. Okay, so I'm just going to lock this in. I put it down here, and this is a right angle. Okay, now these are very good, but sometimes I don't have them with me, and many times, like if I'm in a hotel room, as you can see right now, this is almost a perfect length distance for my 7-iron. All right. Well, the thing I use in a hotel is if I get in a hotel, I just take a towel. All right. Many times when I go on the road, I never leave my clubs in the car. They come with me into the hotel. I like to keep them close to me. I don't leave them in the car. I don't ever leave them in club storage at clubs, because basically my clubs are naturally, they're custom made. Lynn Griffin makes my golf clubs, Doc Griffin, and my clubs are according to today's standards, they're way under today's standards. They're way shorter than normal. I'm 5'9", but I got 35-inch arm length, which is arm length for a gentleman or a person usually well over 6 feet. All right, DJ 6'3", he's got a 35-inch sleeve. Okay, so my clubs are considerably shorter, and at this point, even short, they're still a little on the flat side. They're still a degree or two flat at that shortness. Most of my clubs today, if we get standard ladies clubs today, my clubs will be at least a half inch under most standard ladies clubs today. That's how, and so the point is I think most ladies clubs today are way too long for most ladies. I've had ladies who've come to our school with 6 irons longer than mine. At a school we had a fitter, and they get fitted, and they come back with a club half an inch to an inch shorter than what I got now. And the other clubs, they couldn't even get the ball in the air, and when that shorter club comes back, poof, they're knocking them right up in the air. Clubs are way too long. Same thing with most adults. Today, clubs are way too long. And as I did a video a while back, just because you're 6'7" doesn't mean you need 2-inch overstanding clubs. Because if you're 6'7" and God gave you the appropriate length arms for your body, when you bend over and your arms hang down, doesn't guarantee, just because you're 6'7" doesn't mean you need 2 inches over. Because the gentleman that wrote in about that question, he was chunking the ball all the time. And I guarantee you, one of the things I told him, I said, just stop by chunking it up an inch or so and work your way down, and see at some point you'll probably start chunking it. Okay? So what I do for my alignment in the hotel is, sometimes I don't have the arrows with me, so I'll just pick these things up. But I'll show you what you can do. I just get a towel. I take a towel and I just lay it down. Okay? And normally the mid-sized towels that you have in most of the hotel rooms are just about a perfect fit. Whoa! Guess we'll have to put that up in a minute. They're a perfect fit for my 7-iron. So what I do is I just get it here, and my toes will be right there on the line. On the floor, I'll just kind of draw a crease in it like this on the floor, and I'll just use that to practice my setup. All right? And you can practice your walk-in too. You can put it in the room and decide here that you're going to use your outside edge here for lining up your ball. I highly recommend now that when you're here and your ball is over there and you find your spot, to always check out your spot. You see a lot of guys on the tour are doing this now. They're checking out their spot. It's real easy to stand back here, pick a spot, especially if you're in some really pure ground on grass, where the grass is really good and it's hard to pick a discernible spot. And sometimes you can find a discernible spot from here that just sticks out at you, but when you get over here, you lose it. And so you got to find that spot. But the most important thing is, a lot of times when the grass is really good, you just go and see a spot and you look at it really quick and you look up and down and say, yeah, that's it. But sometimes it could be an inch or two offline. So you always want to check that spot to make sure. Now again, if I discern, if my spot that sticks out for me, or I really see it well, happens to be offline, say an inch to the right, then I can see it well over here, I'm just gonna, and I got trouble picking up another spot, I'm just gonna keep that spot and line my club up that inch or whatever it is, left or right of that spot that I've checked out, and know that's where I have to be for this to be aimed at the target. Okay, to right down the edge. Now, again, this thing is not really aimed at the target right now, using the camera as a target, but you just lay that down. So you can practice your walk-in. So you find your spot, and over here you do your walk-in, which is we want to make a 90-degree turn from here to there. Like I always like to do is go tick, 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 bing. And once I've sensed that my club's now gone 90 degrees, that's when I walk in. I've already drawn my line here, and I put the club down there, square to the end of the towel. I see the club there. That little crease I put in the towel here is now my ball position line, and then I separate 1, 2 with my toes on the line. Okay, and so that's how you can do this in a hotel room. You can do this just about anywhere. All right, and so the key is practicing your alignment. All of you that's been on this site know that the number one surgism for alignment is 90 to 95% of all swing problems arise out of alignment. That's a lot. And it's probably closer to probably 98% more would be a consistent number. All right? At the golf schools we've had for the last 3 years, we've had only one person that ever was consistently lined up the whole day. All right? And I tell people this, and it proves out every time with our performance schools, where we have golf schools in the morning, and then we take you all out for a 9-hole playing lesson in the afternoon, where we take everybody out and we play a scramble. So I tell people on the range, whatever your alignment is here, if I wrote down on your sheet that you're 20 to 30, or 30 to 40, or 40 to 50 right, you will be worse out on the golf course. And it never fails. I'm going to catch them out there sometimes 50, 80, 100 yards right. And so alignment is critical, and it's a very difficult thing to do because in many cases our eyes are playing tricks on us. I've got the Ultimate Alignment video that's out on the site. It's phenomenal. It's actually over an hour of all kinds of tips on alignment. I don't know if this is in there, but I came up with 2 new theories on the alignment, which I'm pretty certain are 1,000% correct. I've had nothing but rave reviews on it. People tell me it's the best work I've ever done. And I'll tell you what, it's going to tell you 2 things you never thought about alignment. And it's basically 2 of the biggest issues of why people line up, if you're a righty, to the right, or if you're a lefty, tend to aim to the left, even when you're trying to hit the ball straight. The only people who line up consistently are righties who are playing a slice, or lefties who are playing a slice. They line up right or left, and they know it. They're the only people who know that they're lined up correctly because they're playing for it. And whenever I catch one, I say, do you know that you're lining up way left? They always say, or way right? Yeah, I know. Well, why are you doing that? You know it's not correct. Well, I'm playing for my slice. And I ask them, do you want a slice? And they say, heck no, man, I'd like to hit the ball straight. Well, if you're playing for it, you got to have it. All right? So the best issue is, if you don't want it, don't play for it. Line up straight. Or in fact, if you're a righty, aim to the right, and pretty soon it won't take you long to figure out how to hook it. All right? And you'll get a different feeling built, and then you'll be able to get back in the square. And one last thing, remember, square alignment is always what? Toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes are parallel left if you're a lefty, parallel right if you're a righty. Okay? So hopefully this gives us another little quickie lesson on alignment, and you line up better, you'll certainly start hitting the ball more consistently, straight and solid, and shooting those lower scores. That's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.